So welcome everybody to the Live with Prima show. This is Limor Webber, and today we're going to make an altered cigar box lid, just like this, into a shadow box. So I had forgotten to press record earlier, so those of you that are watching live, don't think I'm being weird, but we're going to be using the coffee break collection. It's called Coffeeology, and we're going to use the back side of it, okay? And so all I'm going to do is just measure my piece, so about right there, and I'm not trying to be perfect, only because I don't really care that much if I have rugged edges, because I'm just not trying to be perfect, and you'll see in this project. And I'm just going to grab another mat, and you guys are going to laugh because I talked about how many mats I have on my desk at one time. Right, so now I'm going to take my spots, and I'm going to take a ruler, and I know I'm a little bit off camera there, sorry about that. And I'm just going to get it as straight as possible. About right there, and about right there. Okay, I could probably measure it, but I'm not going to. So I'm just going to go ahead and take my scissors and cut this up really quick. All right, just like that. Just like that. Just like that. All right, and I'm going to bring this back, and I'm sure it won't quite fit. I'm sure I'll have to, oh, maybe it does. It does. Does it? Does it? Does it? Pretty close. So let's just give it a little trim here and there. Each edge. It's always like that. There's always a little trimmage that needs to be done. And when I need to trim anything, I take my handy dandy Prima tool, and I love this one. It's the best. It cuts like butter, which is why I love it. I was trying to have a Cary accent. I was trying to have a New York accent. Butter, right? That's how you say it. I don't know. Cary doesn't have that strong of an accent. Oh, what am I cutting? I'm cutting something else. There's something on my mat. Oops. Oopsie daisies. There we go. Something crackly on my mat. All right, perfect. There we go. And we're going to stick this puppy right in there. Okay, we're going to make it fit. Yep, that's going to fit. Let's cut just a tiny, tiny bit off right there so that it fits a little bit more snug. I always just do this because you guys know me, right? I'm like the queen of not measuring, aren't I? Aren't I? Don't get frustrated with me. All you A-type personalities that love to measure, you're probably cringing right now, aren't you? All right, there we go. That's pretty good. So in order for it not to lift up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my matte gel. Okay, this is my favorite one to use. Love it. And I'm actually going to take this mat off because it's bothering me now. Do not need to have it. And I'm going to go ahead and apply some with my brush. My horribly dying brush. It's seen better days. But those are the type of brushes that you definitely want to use for this kind of stuff. Those brushes that, you know, if you forget to clean it, it's not going to make you cry because, you know, it's not going to come out. It's a glue, right? So this is the 3D gel, and I particularly love matte. I'm not a big gloss fan, so I just don't like glossy stuff. That's just my preference, right? And that's why we have both gloss and matte. And I particularly love more of the 3D gel than the fluid gel. That's just my own personal preference to work with. But I know some of you have preference for the more fluid stuff, and there is that too. Okay, so I just apply quite a bit just because I don't want it to lift once I start adding all of the wonderful mediums. Okay, so I just really get it in there really well, and with your, you can take like a bone folder or something and just burnish it a little bit so that there's no bubbles. There's nothing worse when things start to bubble after you apply more and more layers. So just really get it in there. Okay, just like so. And we're going to close this up and put this in a little bit of water. Oh, you have commercials? I'm sorry. I know, but they're really annoying, aren't they? And the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start using, we're going to use several stencils today. And if you want to know the numbers and stuff, we will put the links for you. But I have them out of the packages, so it's a little bit harder for me to tell you what the numbers are. But the first one, we're going to take this one, and we're going to take these two. And this one, I have the number 564216. This one right here. This clock one is 564322. Okay, really cute. And then my favorite, I love this one. Can you tell because I don't clean it? It's the chevron pattern one. Look how beautiful it is on the back. One of my faves. All right. So definitely we're going to use all of these. So I'm going to show you a fun little technique. And all you want to do is take this out. This is kind of fun. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Just depends. For the most part, it does. And so I'm going to be using Rusty Keys. And I'm going to be using Rusty Bucket for this one. And then I'm also going to be using Coltfoot Stamens and Teal Damask. Okay. And these are the chalk edgers. And I'm using the non-permanent ones. Only because at the end I'm spraying it with a fixative anyway. So I'm actually not crazy concerned. Plus I'll be adding alcohol ink to this page. So that'll kind of set it anyway. But I kind of want the watercolor effect. So what I'm going to do, this is a fun little effect, is I'm just going to apply quite a bit of the chalk ink on there, okay? And then right here, a little bit of the dark one, just a little bit. This is not going to be the most perfect technique, so all you do is you spray just a little bit of water, get it nice and wet and activated, okay? And sometimes you can already see the pattern there. How cool is that, right? And I just kind of move it around. I almost take one and press it off so that it's not too juicy. Okay, maybe a couple more. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and press that right down. And some of it will be smudgy, but that's actually, you want that. You kind of want that smudgy, fun effect. Just like that. And lift. And you have a really, really, it's like stamping. How cool is that, right? So you have a fun little effect. And if you wanted to do it again with a little bit more of the orange, which I will do, I'm going to go ahead and do that so you can do that again. So I'm just going to wipe a little bit of this off right here. Okay. So it's kind of getting everywhere, isn't it? Isn't that a fun technique, you guys? Easy peasy. You know what's funny? I used to kind of do this technique before we had sprays, and I just kind of forgot about it. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and just add a little bit more of the orangey guy because I want a little bit more orange. Okay. And I'm going to activate it just a little bit with water, but not too much. Okay. Remember, stamp off first. Get some of that juiciness off, and then maybe stamp just a little bit on opposite ends. Nice. Look at that. So yeah, now you have a little bit more orange. Cool, hey? I love that. You can keep going if you have enough of it. That's what's so cool about this technique, right? I'm making a bit of a mess, aren't I? I can probably say that you guys at least learned one new thing tonight, and it's just the beginning of the show. And that's the kind of the whole purpose of these classes, isn't it? To learn something new with the stuff that you have, or the stuff that you've kind of been wondering about. You know, how do I use it? What's another way of using it? Just really being creative with what you have and not sticking to one technique, right? So just something different. What else? I'm just reading the chat here for a second. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and place that down again. And you can tell with this technique, this dries really, really quick, which is really great. So I know it's not going to smudge. And I'm going to go ahead and place it down one more time. But now I'm actually going to take the teal damask chalk edger, and this is the permanent one. And I'm just going to give it a couple little accents. I have to look at my sample or I'll forget what I did. Don't laugh at me. I'm just like that. I don't always remember things. I'm getting old, you guys. All right, and then we'll do maybe just a little bit down there. And lift. Come on. Those nails don't notice. And it's subtle, but it's there, and that's kind of what you want. Okay? Just a little accent here and there. And it's all, you guys know mixed media is all about layers, right? The next one that we're going to do, I'm going to put this one off to the side, and I'm going to go ahead and grab my chevron pattern. And I'm going to add a bit of chevron pattern to it as well. And I'm going to be using the Colt's Foot stamens. Okay. And there we go. And this is a little bit bolder, right? So you can see. But not bad. I love this chevron pattern. I think it's in the shop. I think I have it in my store. I think it's one of our most popular sellers. It's just, it's crazy. It's crazy. I must have reordered this one probably about 3 times already. Okay, so just like that. It's okay if it gets smudgy like I just did. If it's a little bit juicy, that is not a problem. In fact, that's actually really cool. Okay. Remember, there's no mistakes in mixed media, and that's kind of the freeing thing about it, right? And I'm kind of sticking to the fall look, as you can tell, even though it's got a butterfly. And I just kind of, my house is going to be decorated for fall now, you know, Halloween. So that's kind of the theme I stuck to when it came. That was a thought behind my creation. And I know people ask me all the time, like, what are you thinking? Like, how do you come up with stuff? And sometimes I just think of, okay, first of all, what colors do I want to stick with? And that's kind of the start. And that actually helps me choose inks based on what I have. It helps me choose paper lines, you know, all that kind of stuff. So sometimes just choosing a color that you're going to use makes a huge difference in, you know, knowing what you're going to create and kind of get your mojo flowing, right? And the next thing I'm going to grab is I'm going to grab this guy right here. And so, like I said, this one was 564322. Okay. And we're going to take this guy and we're going to use a little bit of molding paste. So let me grab it. And I'm going to grab this light paste. Okay. Or basic light paste. You see it's quite light. And I'm going to grab my palette knife. Or this guy, actually. I love my guy. And we're just going to take a little bit. Now, this is really light. It's a bit, it holds a peak, but it is light. So just watch. If you put a little bit too much, it will seep underneath your stencil. It's not a hard molding paste. So just, all I'm saying is just watch. Don't put too much, okay? Or you will have issues. And when I put this down, I actually don't want a big peak. I actually want it to be quite subtle. And what I like about this molding paste is that it does dry quite with a transparent look. It's not super white, which is pretty cool. Okay, unlike gesso, right? Or white acrylic paint. So I'm going to lift. And I don't know if you can actually see the pattern. I know it's kind of hard to see on camera, but it's there. Okay. And so there's one right there. And you can barely see them throughout my project, but they're definitely there. They give a little bit of an accent look. So I'm just adding 2. All right, just like that. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. And so with modeling paste, definitely clean off your stencil or you're not going to be a happy camper. Okay, so that would be my number one recommendation. And what I like to do is I don't like to waste, so I actually go ahead and use these things and just put it right back into my container. Okay, and then I am good to go. Okay, so that's that. That was the light modeling paste, or light paste they call it. Okay, and I am going to go ahead and give it one quick wipe. Do we have a question so far? All right, good, good, good. And I'm going to give this a quick dry. Or are you having issues, Carrie, with the computer? The question is, do I have everything in my store to make this? Pretty much everything. Pretty close. Yeah, pretty close. So you might have a couple alterations to make, but pretty much yes. So the next thing that we're going to do, and some of the supplies you should already have at home, okay? Or you might have at home. If you can't find something in the store at the end of the show, just go ahead and you can let me know by messaging me, okay? And through the website. So anyway, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take some water. Once this is, make sure that this is dry so that it does not lift. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to add just a tiny bit of, what did I put? I can't remember if I put clear gesso or not. I think I did. Yes, I did. I did. That's why. Okay, I'm going to add, before I add the water actually, I'm going to grab the clear gesso. So let me just grab that for a second. Where did I put it? Here it is. Okay. Kind of forgot I used it, actually. When I sent Carrie the supplies, I think I just forgot. Because you can't see it, right? So it's hard to remember that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go ahead, and you got to watch, because I'm using, these are non-permanent paints. They might lift just a little bit, but actually that's okay. It's part of the look of this thing. And I'm not kind of putting it in the middle too much anyway, because I don't need to. That's kind of where the ink is going to go. But this clear gesso protects it. Plus I'm going to be adding some more ink over the top. Okay, so just like that. Okay, good enough. Good enough. Okay, and the gesso just adds a little bit of grit to it, plus it'll seal it, that layer. Oh, I'm sorry, Leslie. That's not good. Yes, I did. I just used clear gesso. All right. The next thing that I'm going to grab is I'm going to take some alcohol inks, okay? And this one happens to be butterscotch and pool, okay? Those are the two that I'm using. I'm adding just a little bit of water, just a tiny bit. And all it does is it makes everything kind of run a little bit, which I want. And it allows that alcohol ink to really flow nicely too. So look how beautiful. It almost creates like a fun coffee stain, which I love. And I just kind of now manipulate it just a little bit, the kind of where I want it to go. And that water will really help too. Okay. Some of the pieces will muddy up a bit, but that's okay because that's kind of the look. If you look on here, you kind of want that muddiness. Okay. So just let it kind of drip and do its thing. If you want some places to be darker, just add a little bit more of the alcohol ink and that darkness will go there. Okay. And right now I'm just playing, allowing it to drip, okay? Moving it around. You got to do that and be a little bit patient. And then I'm going to turn it around because always you want to design it in opposite corners, right? Same thing here. Not adding too much water. I want it to be a little bit darker. Okay, and kind of drip down a bit. If you don't have these, the other ones that you can use, because I always like to tell people about alternatives, right? Because I know some of these, and I do have these in the stores as well. It's the Eyes Inks, and they work really great because they're acrylic ink and alcohol ink. So if you don't just have that, you can use these as well, and this technique will work fine. The other thing you could use, like another alternative, would be you can, I guess, if you had alcohol, rubbing alcohol, you could add a little bit of alcohol to these inks by just blotting a little bit of the ink down on your pad and then adding alcohol to make alcohol inks. So lots of different variations of things that you can use, right? And I know everybody's can't get everything, right, to create it, but there's certainly alternatives. So don't feel like you can't do a technique because you don't have a particular ink, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and give this a quick dry so that it doesn't blend with my blue next. Okay. Okay, perfect. Oh, I'm kind of designing it the wrong way, but that's actually okay. I'm okay with that because this one is this way. This one's a little bit, like, instead of turning it this way, I still could, but I kind of did the opposite. So that's okay. We'll design it this way and then we'll take that off. Okay, not a big deal. There's never such thing as a mistake, right? It's just how it goes. Oh, I did need a little bit more drip marks here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add a little bit of water because we kind of want a lightness to this thing. So, and I'm going to really move it around and make it really nice and light. Okay, almost more like a yellowy accent more than anything. And just using my baby wipe a little bit just to give it a bit of a yellow hue. Do you see that? Okay. And the thing is that this dries really quick, so you got to make sure that you wet it. Okay, there we go. That's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Now I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit of my pool. Okay. So we're going to add a little bit of that right there. And again, just a little bit of water and allow it to kind of drip and blend a bit. Use your finger if you need to. Not too much, don't want it to drip everywhere. I'm going to add another piece right there without putting too much water. Maybe more in my hand. Kind of like the way the alcohol does its own thing. Okay, you can spread it. Okay, just like so. Beautiful. Love alcohol inks because they dry so fast. Maybe we'll put a little bit more in the end. So we'll keep these off to the side because we will use them still. So let's give them a quick heat set. Okay, Now I'm going to go ahead and take everybody's absolute favorite stencil. I do have this in the store, but it's the smaller version. This is the first generation. Can you tell I use it a lot and don't clean it? This is like caked on pretty good. All right. Yeah, it's been around the block once or twice. The number for this big one, it's 960445, but it's not available anymore. I mean, it's hard to find. We do have it now. It comes in a smaller version. So it's about, I don't know, about that big. I can't remember. But it's really nice. It's kind of perfect for these type of projects. It's a little bit easier to use. So actually, I'm a big fan. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this down, but I'm actually going to use white, heavy body acrylic paint, okay, for this particular technique. And I'm just going to take one of those, you know, fabulous makeup sponges. And this is golden, but I mean, you can use anything. Just, you don't want to use heavy gesso for this because it'll be slightly too transparent. So I'm going to go ahead and just take a little bit of my sponge, heavy white acrylic paint, okay, and really make sure this is pasted down or it's going to seep underneath, okay. And I want texture. That's what I'm going for, okay. And a lift, okay, just like that. And I'm going to do some of the little ones on the bottom, not the big one. Okay, just like that. Can you see? Perfect. And they don't have to be perfect, so don't you worry about being a perfectionist, because perfectionism isn't going to work here. All right. And we're going to dry this up really quick so we can move on to the next step. Look, I already have paint on me. Oh, thank you. Like my nails? You guys are funny. I put a lot of paint on there. Look at that bubble. Can you guys see that bubble? That's fun. I love that. Let's burst it. I'm going to pop it. There we go. Okay, perfect. Now what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my stamp. So there's a couple stamps that I'm going to use, and one of them is this one right here, and this one right here. Now this is from, what collection is this? This is from the Epiphany collection, okay, and it's 575762. Now I'm trying to remember where I used it. Oh yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yes. So I'll use that in just a second. But actually, this one is 960964. So many steps to this guy, I sometimes forget. You guys don't laugh at me. Just going to use my Stampers Big Brush pen. It's just black India ink. Okay. And as you can see, I'm not applying ink to the entirety of the stamp, just in certain spots, because I want to create a bit of texture. Okay, that's all I'm doing, just rolling your stamp. All right, and even on that circle. Okay, just like so. And if you wanted even more, I didn't use this one in the last one, but what the heck, let's just do something different. I love this one. It's one of my favorites, another Prima one. Just for something different. Okay, there we go. Just adds a little something. Okay, and let's put this back because I always forget to put them back in their spot. And we'll just dry that up really, really quick. I have some ink on there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this off to the side for a second. And I'm going to show you a brand new product, and check this out. This is the new Julie Netting Kraft paper tag pads. So cute, right? So I used one of these, and I'm going to go ahead and take one of them off, just like that. And oh, the number, and by the way, they're 2 by 3.5, so cute. The number is 911058. Okay. And I'm going to take this right here. And my Stampers Big Brush pen. And as you can see, I'm just going to use that piece right there. Just for a little bit of texture. Oh, and I'm using brown. I'm actually not using this color. Ha 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 ha. Limor. I'm using this guy. So, and no, I'm not. I'm actually using this guy and this guy. What is wrong with me today? I just forget. I'm sorry. Let's start again. We're going to use this guy. Just a little bit. We want brown on brown. Okay. Just a bit of texture. I love this stamp. It just creates the coolest texture. And I'm going to use this guy right here too. And we're going to use a little bit of this guy just for a different ink. And right there, and right there. How cool is that? Right? Just a little bit. And then I want a little bit of that script as well. And I'm going to take the black one now. All right, just like that. I actually want a little bit more right there. Perfect. I'm going to put this back so that I remember where it goes, or I will never, like I said, never put it back in place that it actually is supposed to go. All right. We'll put that down for a moment, and then what I'm going to do, last but not least, I'm going to take my chalk edger, which is the Rusty Bucket, and I'm going to give that a really nice edging. Okay. Gorgeous tag, right? And last but not least for this tag, I'm going to take the brand new, I love the wax cords. Oh my gosh, okay. This is the new trim. It's 576752. I love it. This is my other favorite color. Love, love, love. We'll be using that tonight. Yumminess, yumminess. So we'll just add, actually I have a piece already cut, I believe. So I'm going to go ahead and use that and just poke a little bit through. Don't need too much of this guy, but I love the wax cords. They create the coolest effects. Yep, I do have the trim. All right, just like that. Oh, I missed one. I missed poking this through. There we go. Just like that. Now, I can come back, and the other thing that I want to show you is I used off camera, I took my Big Shot and this die right here, which is 572792. It's so cool. Okay, and I punched it out with that same paper that I used earlier for this. Okay. So we'll be using that in just a moment. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use about half of it. So I am going to cut it actually in half. All right, so you can use the other half for something else. And you're going to take the Culsput stamens and just give it a bit of a yellow edging. Okay, or you can use this side. Whichever side you like best, you can use. That's kind of the beauty of these things, right? And then we're going to take a little bit of our heavy gesso, okay, White heavy gesso. Love this stuff. Or you can take actually white acrylic paint, whatever you've got, because really all you want to do now is you're going to take a little bit of your sponge and you're going to create a bit of that heavy edging on these guys. Okay, just like that. Just get it a little bit gunked up. That's all. Just on this guy. All right, we're going to use the gesso here again. Actually, we're going to take a little bit of gesso and we're going to mute a little bit of this page, just a bit. Okay. Sorry, that's my website guy is calling me. Can you hear my phone going? Oops. Not my website, my digital designer. Can't answer your phone call. I'm on live show. Little does he know, right? Poor guy. All right, just like that. Now we're going to start kind of our layering process a little bit. So we're going to take, actually before we do that, I forgot, we're going to take my favorite pencil of all time, which you guys already know, it's the Stabilo All Pencil, right? And what we want to do is we want to make those circles pop a little bit. So we're going to go around them. And why I like this pencil, and I'll say it a million times over, is because it goes over everything. It goes paper, glass, plastic, metal. It's so beautifully dark when you add water to it. So I'll show you that in just a moment. So I'm just going over the circles imperfectly that I had created earlier. Okay, imperfect is perfect. Okay, so don't try and be perfect with this puppy because it's just not gonna work. My favorite one is this big one. Okay, see how it just pops now, right? It makes a huge difference, I think. It's all about the layers, the layers, the layers. And we'll take a nice thin brush with a little bit of water. So I'm just going to maybe add a little bit of water to my desk here. And just very gently go over some of these circles just to make that black pop. And I will get closer to the camera here, but you can already see. Okay. Pretty cool. Create some cool shadows if you want to. And then it becomes permanent, which I love. Usually I don't use this type of brush, but that's okay. It'll work for now. Do we have questions so far? Yeah, I know. Sometimes I forget to use my dyes as well. But you know what? It brings a whole lot of dimension to a project. And what's really cool is that you can really use any paper that you have, and so you can really focus on matching your project, right? So that it's really easy. So I love dyes. I just sometimes, like you said, forget to use them as much as I want to. So that's that. That really pops really great. All right. And we're going to start, like I said, our layering process. So I am going to go ahead and put this piece down first, and I like to use, I like to use the Fabri-Tac or 3-in-1, okay, by Beacon. It's my glue to use. I cut this hole way too big though, so it seeps a little bit now, but that's all right. So I just put quite a bit on there because it's going to hang on the wall. I want to make sure that it actually stays, right? That is important, isn't it? So put that on there. And I don't know if I want this side. It's got pink there. I'm not jazzed up about the pink. So yeah, I do have the Stabilo in stock. Yep. Yep. Sorry, for those of you that are watching the recording and you're wondering who I'm answering, Carrie is the admin or the moderator, and so she sends me questions so that you're not wondering who is she talking to. So yes, the answer is yes. And what I like to do is I like to kind of curl the edges just a little bit. And what it does is it gives it a bit of dimension. Okay. Just a tiny, tiny bit. Just like that. All right. Woo. And we've got a little bit of those funny stringies. I know it looks really funny like that, but don't worry, we're adding layers, right? And the next thing that we're going to grab is this guy right here, which is 576783. Okay. I've got this song in my head, you guys, and I'm not going to sing it, but holy moly, I can't get it out of my head as I'm creating right now. It's so funny. I want to just laugh at myself. But you know that song, it's all about the bass, Yeah, that one. Okay, it's in my head. I can't sing, but that's the song I have in my head. So now I got it in your heads. So if I have it in my head, you should too. You probably don't know what I'm talking about because I'm a bad singer, but at least it's not like Let It Go from Frozen. Which you probably now have it in your head because I actually suggested it, right? So all I'm doing with this guy is just kind of binding it up. All right, just like that. Okay. Layers, 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 right? And the next flower that I'm going to use is somewhere here, somewhere yonder. I just got some more of these in. I haven't put it inside the shop yet, but I have some more of these. But these are awesome. I'm not sure if it's the exact one I used here. Pretty close. It's Jute Joyous 574826. So we'll take that out. It's pretty close. Maybe it's a bit darker, but that's all right. It's okay. And then these brand new Prima flowers. Love these. I just finished entering all the colors of these guys. I love them. 577384. All right. And let me see. I have a package already here. Oh, this one has an extra one in there, right? So actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to use one of the open packs. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy. I know you guys are going to kill me right now because I'm about to butcher a flower. All right. Try not to kill me. And I'm actually going to go ahead and take this middle right off. Just like that. And I love this because you could actually use this on another flower. And that's the beauty of Prima flowers. Okay. And I'm going to take this guy and he's going to kind of be right there. Okay. You see how it's starting to cover some of these pieces right here? All right. And then we are going to take, I know most of you have these. I forgot to give Carrie the number for these, but these E-line flowers, do you remember them? How old are they? Like 19 what? No. 2010. All right. 300883. Okay, so if you have them in your stash, pull them out. All right. And I'm just going to take one. And I love these because I can totally manipulate them. And I just kind of fold them in half, just like so. And what it does is it gives me like a dimensional flower that I can tuck in to things. So I can tuck this guy in about right there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add glue to this already. Okay, just like that. And we're going to tuck that one in there as well. We're calling it a tucker. And then I am going to take the brand new, I don't have the number for this because I threw out the wrapper. I could probably find it here in my garbage, so give me a second. But this is the wood pieces by from the, oh, let me see if I can find it. Give me a minute here. I don't know. I don't think so. It's not in my garbage. Anyway, what is this collection? This one is from the Forever Green collection, okay? These are so cute. I absolutely love them. So we're going to be using one of these guys, a couple of these. I think I used Hello. I did. Okay. So those are the ones that we're going to use, and we're going to start tucking some of these puppies in here. So we're going to tuck in Hello, but before we do that, I'm going to take a little bit of the leftover gesso that's on here. Oh, there's none left in there. So let's just take some. Actually, I'm going to use white, titanium white acrylic paint because it's really nice and white. It's very bright, just kind of the look that I'm going for. So we'll do a bit on there, on the edges. Okay. Not too much, just a bit. Nice and chunky. And we'll add a little bit of glue. It's coming together, isn't it? Just like that. And then we'll add this guy right here. I love these. These are so great for fall projects. Okay, we'll tuck that right there. And we'll add the butterfly. And with the butterfly, I want to add a little bit of dimension to it. So, oops, I'm just going to take a bit of my foam tape. And I just kind of double it up, and sometimes I even put a triple one in there. I want it nice and lifted and flying off. So let's add one more as well. Just like that. All right. So now he's going to fly, and see, he covers off that beautiful piece right there. That piece that was kind of bugging. That's the one. And I just add that extra reinforcement. And I just hold it down for a second. Okay. Just holding it down. Any questions so far? Okay. And then, oh, what's wrong with this guy? What's happening to him? He's being difficult. My butterfly's being difficult. He needs a timeout, just like my kids. Where are you going, butterfly? Let's add a little bit of glue to the bottom there. Hold him for a minute. I can answer questions in the meantime. Let's see. Perfect. It'll probably fall a little bit, but that's okay. I can fix that later. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you something very new that is, I think it just got sneak peeked this week. These are awesome. I can't wait for them to be out, but look at them. They're shabby chic treasures door locks. How awesome are they, right? I know the light is really annoying, so let me actually take this out of the packaging so you can see them a little bit better. Gorgeous, right? So we're going to use this guy right here, even though I have an open package right here, but it doesn't have that one. So, and then these are the ones that you guys saw on the Prima's Facebook page. How cute are these? Stunning, right? Love them. Just thought I'd show you, give you a little bit of a sneaky peeka. Sneaky peeka. Okay. And let's put this guy in right there, right? Like, how fun is that? And have this hanging down. So we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of glue right there. And actually, I probably do need to put glue on the whole thing. So now it's going to seep like crazy. This is now going to hang down, which is really fun. Sorry, I'm playing with it a little bit. There we go. All right, just like that until it dries. It's just going to be a bit of a nuisance. That's what happened last time too. It just slides a little bit with the glue. There we go. Just has to be lined up too. Okay. So once you have it nice and lined up, just let it sit there so that it dries. Otherwise, it's going to be a pain. But in the end, this is what it's going to look like. All right. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take, everybody's got a little bit of this thread at home, right? I grabbed this orange one because that's kind of the theme of this particular piece. So I'm just grabbing a whole bunch of it. Okay. And there's no technique really to this. It's just bunching it up and making it nice and grungy. And we're just going to kind of tuck it underneath, okay? Just to give it a pop of color. That's really the technique, actually. So I guess there is a technique. It's a very simple one anyway. All right, just like that. And if it lands a certain way, just let it land, okay? Don't be too particular about it. You can tuck it in, use your dirty fingers, just let it kind of do that, okay? And then I am going to take, this is Say It in Crystals. I love this one. It's a little bit of an older one. It's 563653. I think I have it in the shop too because I love these chevron patterns. They're so easy to use, so much fun. So I'm going to pull that out. And we're going to add one about right here. And I'm going to do one right there underneath. And another one right there. And one more, just because we can, right? Just because we can. Who says we can't? It's going to go right there. It's probably not very straight, is it? That's all right. Okay. Probably need one more in there, though. I like 3. I like to do things in odd numbers. I don't like it when it's too perfect. All right, just like that. And now I'm going to take a little bit of my pool that I had earlier and just add a little bit, just like that, and let it seep in there. Just a little bit of water. Okay, and even go right underneath. Okay, and then it stains a little bit of that, which is perfect. And then we'll do the same thing, but we're going to do that with the other color, which was that orangey color. What is it called? Butterscotch. And we're just going to do it to the first guy right here. And add just a tiny bit of water. Let it seep right in there. Okay, and you can blot some of it off to make it imperfect. There we go. We're getting there. We're doing it. And then we also need another one of these guys in there. Just like that. It's getting close. And then of course we need to distress this guy right here, right? Make it more hingy and stuff. More, not hingy. What's the word I'm looking for? Old and rusty. That's the word. Rusty, not hingy. Oh man, I know. English is my second language, but seriously, some days I wonder. Some days I wonder about myself. Okay, and see, they kind of mix together and create this cool rusty green color, patina, I guess you could say, which is really funky. All right, and when it dries, it's a little bit darker. So that's pretty cool. And what else we need to do next? Yes, of course. Now I'm going to show you a couple alternatives to this next step. In the original piece, I've got this guy right here, and I'm going to show you some different ones that you could use as well if you don't want to purchase another one. This is the one that I used. It's called the Junkyard Finding Ceiling Light Bulbs. This is 892180, and it's great because it's got the cord as well that tucks into here, right? This cord looks like this, and you can cut it up. And it really does, it fits right in there, which is really cool. So there is these. There's also the these little ones that have some of the words. So these are fun. This one says us, me, care, cute. I can't remember what the other words usually say, but it's called small typo bulbs that are a little bit older, 891541. Or you could, these are the really big ones. So these are cool too, because they create, inspire, enjoy, believe, live, adventure. Typo bulbs number 2, 891534. So definitely, you know, feel free to use what you have as well. So, you know, for the purpose of showing you that you can do anything, I'm going to go ahead and use one of these, okay? And I don't particularly love the word care for this particular piece. So, oops, this is moving around. So what I like to do, which is really great, I can just take this guy and very gently scrape the word off. And I love that you can do that with these. It's just, and you could actually take a rub-on and you could add a different word if you wanted to. I don't want a word on there, but I like that I can go ahead and just take that off, right? It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. So I'm also going to take that same alcohol ink and I'm going to add it to the light bulb in the back, not in the front. Okay, and just let it dry for a minute, because as the alcohol evaporates, it'll dry up, so that when I turn it, and I'm going to blow on it, I put quite a bit of it, so let's blot some of it off. Okay, but when I turn it, I have a yellow light bulb. How cool is that, right? So I can go ahead and add that to here. And make sure you use clear glue, obviously, to glue that down so that you don't see, so that it doesn't dry weird, right? So it's just a different variation, but really, really easy, right? And last but not least, one of my favorite things to do. Oh, I forgot the bird. Can't forget the bird. We could use one of the new birds, but he's a little bit big, so I'm not going to do that. Let's use these guys. They're my favorite. 890773. I think I used him. He's a nice little fat bird. My fat birdie. So let's pull my fat birdie out. I love him. Love my birds. And we're going to add them. Okay. I've got the bulbs in the store, you guys. Yeah, so don't worry. You can go ahead and find them. I think I've got pretty much all of those kind in there, unless some of you probably already bought them. So sorry about that if they're all gone. And then what I like to do, I like to have him pop just a little bit. So I'm adding a bit of the chalk ink, but be very gentle. You don't want to do too much, okay? Or he'll look a little bit weird. And then I just kind of blend him out with my finger. Just a little bit of blending, okay, just like that. His tail is bugging me. I cut the tail off of the other one because he was driving me crazy. But I can do that after the show. Okay, he's a bit odd. Yeah, it's his tail. It's driving me nuts, so I just snap it off because you can't see it anyway. There we go. Now he tucks in a little bit better. Now he has no tail, but nobody has to know, right? Between my butterfly and my bird today, nobody's cooperating. And my project is never complete without a little bit of splatter marks, correct? So we're going to go ahead and do that. Let me just put that back in here. Let me just do that. So I'm going to take my favorite ink, which is just acrylic ink. This is the Liquitex stuff. Okay, and oh, there we go. Opening it up. And I'm just going to add a little bit to my craft mat just because it's easy to do. And then I can just wipe it up. And I'm going to take my fan brush, which I should have one right here. I do. So I'm just going to clean that off. Can you believe I left my brushes in water last night? It's not good. It's not good. I'm sure I ruined a couple. Look at this poor guy. Okay. it'll open up. See, it'll open up once it has ink in it, which is fine. Now what I want to do is I want to make sure I kind of cover this up just a tiny bit. So just take a bit of a baby wipe or anything that you have around here. Just cover up that flower bit. Okay, and don't get your computer. Just like that. Ooh, I like that splatter mark. I don't know where that one came from, but it's kind of cool. And then you just want a little bit on the flower, just a bit. Okay, just for a little something, something. And actually, we're not quite done because those flowers are a little bit too perfect. So let's imperfect them a little bit, if that's a word. Probably isn't a word. I'm almost out of baby wipes, you guys. That is horrible. Can you imagine? I run out of them so often. I should just do a big Costco run. And let's dry this up before we do the next step. Do we have any questions? And so what I like to do then is take my heavy gesso, and I'm going to take a brush. I'm not going to take, let's see, I'll take a brush. I'll make sure I clean them tonight, okay? And I'm going to go over some of those edges of the petals so that it grunges them up a little bit. What's really cool, you know what you could do as well? You could gesso this up, and you could do this before you actually put the flowers down, but you could take our new glass glitter, which is so cool, and you could go around the edges. That would be so beautiful as well. So just another thing. Or even these, I mean, these microflakes maybe might be a bit big, but the glass glitter would look so gorgeous. It's just another idea you could do. I'm just going to fluff this guy up just a bit. There we go. Now he's a bit more gessoed up, right? I just to add texture. I love to add texture to anything. I don't know. Drives me crazy when it's too perfect. You know what I mean? Oh, the black ink was, I know you can't even tell, but it's the Liquitex acrylic ink. It's in the store as well. I'll show you what an actual bottle looks like. That's not completely and totally painted. Hold on a sec, I'll grab one. It looks, the label actually looks like this, but you can tell that I use this one a lot. So that's what it looks like, and there's so many different colors, but that's what the ink is. It's just fluid acrylic ink, okay? So it's really fun. I like it. It's really dark. It's really easy to use. It's my favorite ink. So I believe that is it. Let me look. I think that's it. Pretty close, right? Pretty good. And you can see I added a couple little variations to this, so you don't always have to do exactly as you see it, right? Definitely put your own spin to it to make it a little bit more exciting for yourself. So like I said, using Cigar Box. Oh, I forgot. I knew I forgot a step. Hang on a second. Don't go anywhere. Do not go anywhere. One of the things, and I'm gonna do this kind of offline, but what I've done is I did go ahead and I put gesso all around the edges of this, and I don't know if you guys can actually see, but this, there's the new crackle paste on here, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. But you probably won't be able to see it until after the show is over. Can you see I broke it? I dropped it on the ground and it cracked. This is Platinum Crackle Texture Paste. It's really cool. So it's really pretty. I'm going to show it to you really quick. My poor lid, seriously. I need to get Prima to send me a little lid or something. Can you see the shine to it? Oh, it's so pretty. I know it looks white on camera, but it's really shiny and platinumy. So think of a platinum colored car or something. It's kind of that beautiful shine. So I put gesso first, and then I added this guy, and it created that cool crackle effect on the edges. So I wanted to show you that really quick, that's what I had done. But I believe that is it for this project. All right, so thank you for those that were tuning in on the recording. If you have any questions, please, by all means, send me a message, and I will answer those questions for you. And just answering some questions here. Let's do the announcements, actually, before I stop the recording. So a couple announcements. Let me just pull them up again as I close them down here. So give me a second. The first announcement we've got, I'm waiting for it to come up. Hang on a sec. There we go. Where'd it go? So we've got Kasia. Is that how you say it? Or Cassia? I don't know, but she's so cute. On Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and she's going to create some awesome jewelry pieces using metals, art mediums, and a whole lot more. So be sure to tune in to Live with Prima. And I'm super duper excited because I'm hoping that there's some of you here from California. I am going to be down in California teaching at the Prima office. It's a whole weekend event on the November 15th and 16th weekend. Super excited. I'm going to be teaching 2 mixed media classes as well as crop giveaways, make and takes. We're going to do a Live with Prima show, lunch included, snacks, all that kind of fun stuff. So be sure to come on by. And what's really cool is you get to shop at the Prima warehouse, and Deb Mack is going to have her store there as well, which is really cool. So you can buy all the latest and greatest Prima and then some, okay? Lots of fun products for you to get. So be sure to sign up. You can find the sign-ups on my website, www.limorwebber.com, under, it's, I believe, like classes and events, okay? If you just go to the shop, you'll find it, and you can pay there. And the whole event, the whole weekend is $199. So super affordable, 2 mixed media classes. It's going to be fabulous. And again, last but not least, Art Venture California is January 6th and 7th, just before CHA. So this is both for retailers and consumers. And if you have any questions, you can email Denny at primamarketinginc.com. And let me see. I think that's it. Yeah. Okay. Yes. To answer the question, yes, it's we can fit 30 people. So you get the lunches, you get snacks, you get 2 of my classes. You'll get make and takes that I'll be doing, or Deb will be doing. We haven't quite decided that. And we'll do. I'll be doing some demos. We'll be doing Live with Prima. Lots of fabulous, cheap warehouse shopping at the Prima office. You can't get better than that. And then shopping at Deb's store. Okay, so pretty awesome stuff. And of course, goodie bags. I'm going to bring my goodie bags, maybe some handmade stuff for me. Who knows? I'm really excited. This is a one-time thing, so I don't come to Cali very often to teach. So pretty awesome, right? So yay, yay, yay. That's all I got for ya. All right. Thank you again so much for coming. I'm going to stop the recording for those that are watching the recording, and I can continue answering questions for those of you that are live.